Most marriages suffer because people expect love to comfort them instead of transform them. If your marriage feels heavy, emotionally draining, or confusing, this message is for you. In the next minutes, you will discover how a spiritual mindset can stabilize a difficult marriage, restore inner peace, and help you grow, even if your partner remains challenging. This is not about fixing your spouse. It is about changing how love flows through you. Many people enter marriage expecting fulfillment, understanding, and emotional safety. And when those expectations are not met, frustration slowly replaces affection. Spiritual wisdom offers a different perspective. Marriage is not meant to complete you. It is meant to refine you. A difficult partner is not always a punishment or a mistake. Sometimes it is life's way of revealing where patience, self-control, humility, and unconditional love still need to mature. Very often, what hurts us most in marriage is not what happens, but what we expected would happen. When reality does not match the image we created, suffering appears. Spiritual growth begins when we release the image and face reality with openness. Marriage as a spiritual discipline from a spiritual perspective. Marriage is not merely emotional or social. It is a discipline of consciousness. Your partner becomes a mirror, not to show what is wrong with them, but to reveal what still reacts within you. Every irritation exposes attachment. Every disappointment reveals expectation. Every conflict highlights ego. This does not mean tolerating harm or disrespect. It means recognizing that your inner response matters as much as the outer situation. When you shift from asking, "Why is my partner like this?" to asking, "What is this situation teaching me?" your suffering begins to soften. Many conflicts repeat themselves not because the problem was never discussed, but because the lesson was never integrated. Awareness breaks repetition. Consciousness interrupts cycles. Stop expecting love to feel easy. One of the biggest illusions about marriage is the belief that love should always feel warm, supportive, and validating. Spiritual love is deeper. It is patient when appreciation is absent. It is steady when emotions fluctuate. It is generous without keeping score. Much marital pain comes from silent contracts. I give, so I should receive. I tolerate, so you should change. But spiritual marriage invites a radical shift. Love is not a transaction. It is an offering. When love is offered freely, without demand, resentment loses its grip. Peace grows where entitlement dissolves. This does not mean accepting neglect or abuse. It means loving without emotional bargaining. Sometimes love expresses itself not by speaking more, but by choosing silence. Not by insisting, but by waiting. Not by controlling, but by trusting the process. Self-control is an act of love in difficult marriages. Words often escalate pain. Reactions become automatic. Emotions take control. Spiritual wisdom teaches something powerful. Control yourself before trying to control the relationship. Silence can prevent damage. Calm can disarm hostility. Restraint can protect dignity. Self-control is not suppression. It is conscious choice. When you regulate your reactions, you change the emotional field of the marriage. Even if only one partner practices this, the atmosphere begins to shift. Peace is contagious, so is tension. The state you cultivate within yourself silently educates the relationship. See beyond personality to the soul. A difficult spouse often acts from fear, insecurity, or unresolved wounds. Spiritual marriage invites you to look deeper. Behind the personality is a soul learning how to love imperfectly. When you relate only to behavior, conflict grows. When you recognize the soul behind the behavior, patience expands. This perspective does not erase boundaries. It softens the heart without weakening self-respect. You can be firm and compassionate at the same time. Seeing the soul does not mean ignoring reality. It means responding with wisdom instead of impulse. Clarity replaces reactivity. Marriage is service, not self-erasure. Spiritual marriage is rooted in service, not sacrifice. Service means choosing goodwill, seeking harmony, acting with intention. But service does not mean losing your identity. You are not meant to disappear in marriage. You are meant to bring your highest self into it. True service flows from inner fullness, not exhaustion. If you are constantly depleted, pause. Restore yourself. Peace begins within. Let growth be slow and natural. One of the most painful mistakes is expecting immediate transformation. Spiritual growth unfolds gradually. Some changes happen quietly, some only after long patience, some through surrender rather than effort. When you stop forcing outcomes, pressure dissolves. And where pressure fades, clarity emerges. Where hope lives. A spiritual marriage does not promise comfort at every moment. It promises meaning. Meaning transforms pain into purpose. Meaning turns difficulty into depth. People who live with spiritual awareness approach marriage differently. They understand that love is not only an emotion, but a conscious state. They respond with patience instead of impulse. They choose understanding instead of blame. And they remember that growth often happens quietly, beneath the surface. Spirituality offers something essential in difficult marriages. It gives perspective when emotions feel overwhelming. It reminds you that you are more than reactions, more than roles, more than moments of pain. It reconnects you to an inner center that remains stable, even when relationships feel uncertain. Through spiritual awareness, suffering is no longer meaningless. It becomes a doorway to compassion, humility, and inner strength. You begin to see challenges not as enemies, but as invitations to mature emotionally and spiritually. Sometimes your partner changes, sometimes they don't. But you always grow when love is practiced consciously, and that growth stabilizes the heart. Because the greatest transformation may not happen in your partner, but within you.